play with your family. Go to Napa Valley and taste wine, which, as you know, I just came back from there. So I wasn't there last week. We need to do things in our life that allow us to lighten up, so that we then can replenish and share our own personal light. So faith, there's a definition of it that I really love, and it is on one of these PowerPoints up here. Let's see, that one. Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase. Oh, isn't that good? That's, it's not a fancy, biblical kind of thing. It's not a religious thing at all. It's just a real practical thing. So imagine something that you're looking at the staircase, but you cannot see it. You cannot see where it goes. Faith is taking that first step, even when you cannot see that. Ooh, I love that. That's what we're about in this philosophy, taking the first step even when we cannot see it, because we're trusting the power that is greater than we are to guide us up the next step, and up the next step, and up the next step. How many, I think almost everybody nowadays has GPS in their car, or they have Waze or something like that on their phone, yeah?
Yeah.
If you've been living under a rock and don't, let me tell you that sometimes that wasn't a judgment call, it's just pretty much everybody has it. You're looking at the Waze and it's giving you turn-by-turn directions. Turn right, or it tells you when you hit I-95, stay right. It's giving you turn-by-turn direction. But it doesn't always let us see the whole picture. A good old-fashioned paper map lets you see the whole picture. That kind of fits to me when I look at this. So just now, we took a new route into Napa Valley this last time, and it's giving us the turn-by-turn directions, and I was really hit by how much faith that takes when I don't see the whole route. I don't know where it's taking me, but I'm trusting. This one says turn right there, and I'm like, that doesn't seem right, but okay, I'm going to turn there. Both things are equally important. In our personal lives, having the big vision of what we want to see for our lives and for this world. Do we want to see a world of peace? Yeah. Do we want to see a world of love? Yeah. Do we want to see a world where we are serving each other and helping each other? That's the big vision. And then step by step, what am I going to trust as I take that first step up the staircase? Well, trusting each other sometimes gets challenging. So it's got to be the bigger source. Some people like to call it God. I like to call it the source of life. You can call it whatever you want, because it doesn't really matter. That universal presence, I always strive to ask my inner voice, is this the right turn for me to make? Is this the direction I should be going? And listen for the yes. Should I be going up this staircase? Or should I be going up that staircase? Learning to trust that inner GPS, God's positioning system inside us, while we're looking at the big vision. Both the things are working together for our greater good. All right, let me see if I can open my book one-handed. I'm used to having my hands free. All right, Ernest Holmes, our founder, says, since faith is a quality unconfined to any age or any station in life, it may be ours today as much as it has been anybody's at any time. Listen to this. He wrote this in 1926. We are not going through a harder time today, a longer or darker night. It sure feels like it to me. He said in 1926, we're not going through a harder time today, a longer or darker night than has ever been experienced before. It only seems darker when we lose faith, the beacon light. Yes, okay, there you go. If we will have faith in ourselves, faith in our fellow humans, faith in the universe, and faith in God, that faith will light the place in which we find ourselves. And by the light of this faith, we will be able to see that all is well. I'll come back to that in just a second. And the light shed by this faith will light the way for others. So we become the beacons of light. We become the ones who have a strong enough faith that people want to have a little bit of what we have. People want to be around us in our light because they feel comforted in our presence. To see that all is well. What Ernest Holmes is talking about when he says all is well, all is good, he's talking about wholeness. When we look at the earthly realm, things don't always look well. He's talking about the bigger picture. You see that all is well. All is God's life. All is God's universe. And in that place, all is well. There's so much more going on that meets the eye. I say that all the time. We don't always understand. What I know is that I want to be part of the light. I don't want to fight the darkness. I want to be part of the light.
Yes.
I don't want to fight the darkness. You see, because when we're fighting the darkness, we're stuck in it. If we're fighting the dark, we're stuck interacting with dark. So we want to bring the light. We can't bring the light unless we are the light. We have to increase it within us. Now, if this is a new concept to you or a hard concept to you, then by all means, hang around people who have it. Hang around the people who you know. If I hang around that person, I'm going to get a lot of their light. Because they'll share it with you for a while. There will come a time when you got to do it for yourself. But when you're new, it does help to hang around people who have the light. Why do you think we come here? There's so much light here. There's so much spiritual light. We come together. There's so much spiritual light in us. And so we connect with each other to increase our own light. And then we go out and shine that light. Not in a codependent way. You feel what I'm saying here? So we connect with other people's light so that we may go out and make a difference. We don't want to be part of the problem. We don't want to be part of the people saying, oh, wars will always happen, it's never going to end, or we'll never see peace on this planet, or there's evil people. You know, that thinking is part of the problem. That thinking is part of the problem if we stay in that. Here we are studying this philosophy, trying to live by this philosophy, and I get really sad when I hear people say that. War will never stop. We'll never see peace on this earth. That's just the way it is. I think, wow. Because you know what? They're right. They're right. Because of the law of attraction. It keeps coming back to them. You know, the master teacher, Jesus, always talked about, it's done unto you as you believe. So if you believe that we'll never see peace, to me, you're part of the problem. And I'm not saying that to be judgmental. I'm saying that to say, let's not be part of the problem. Let's make sure that we are being the light, not the dark. Let's make sure we are filling ourselves up. So in this process, we have to ask ourselves, am I willing to believe in wholeness? Wholeness. Call that God if you want to. Am I willing to believe in something greater than what I'm seeing on earth? First question, am I willing to believe it? One of my colleagues, Reverend Jesse Jennings, said this beautiful quote. Imagining wholeness and wellness in the face of a troubling appearance is a heroic task. And like any art, it takes time and great commitment to be mastered. Listen again, apply it to your own life, and then apply it to the collective life. Imagining wholeness and wellness in the face of troubling appearances is a heroic task. And like any art, it takes time and great commitment to be mastered. Let's not be discouraged when we're taking that heroic task to see wholeness, to imagine peace on earth. Let's not be discouraged because it's taking longer than we'd like it to take. Because we do live with millions of people on this planet, some of who are saying there will never be peace on earth. You see? So we need to counteract that. We need to be the peace and we need to be the light. Let's stay in that place of being willing to imagine wholeness no matter what. And know that when we do it, we are heroes. We are heroes as we bring that. So I want to leave us with one, kind of a story-ish, because it sums up the whole thing. The story says, when I was a young man, I wanted to change the world. I found it difficult to change the world, so I just tried to change the nation. When I found I couldn't change the nation, I began focusing on my town. I couldn't change my town, and as a slightly older man, I tried to change my family. There's that thing about changing people, accepting what we can, right? Now, as an old wise man, I realize the only thing I can change is myself. And I suddenly realized that if long ago, as that young man, I had changed myself, it would have made an impact on my family. And then my family and I would have made an impact on our town. Their town's impact could have changed the nation. And therefore, I could indeed have changed the world. I change myself. Why?